now listening to a Purple Crayon Productions broadcast.
A long time ago, an old man lived by himself in the deep woods. His cabin had only one room, and that room was his parlor, his bedroom, his dining room, and his kitchen, too. The old man had 3 dogs. One was called You Know, one was called I Know, and one was called Comptico Calico. One day, the man decided to go hunting to catch something for his supper. Here, 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 he shouted to his dogs, and they came bounding off the porch, eager for a chase. After many hours of hunting, the wind began to blow and rain began to fall. The man hadn't caught anything. "It'll be dark soon," he said. "We need to head back." So they headed home, afraid they might go to sleep hungry. The old man got home and leaned back in his chair and watched the moon as it rose up, big and full. The wind whistled around the cabin. Just as the old man was about to doze off, a most curious creature crept past the window. It was black and had a long tail. The man heard it scratching around the house, and then he saw it coming in through the fireplace. He stood, reached for his axe, and cut the creature's tail off. Before he could raise his axe a second time, the creature slipped through a crack in the wall and ran away. The old man was still hungry, so he took the tail, cooked it, and ate it. His stomach was full. Then he went to bed, and before he knew it, he was asleep. The old man hadn't been asleep very long when he woke up. Something was climbing up the side of his cabin. It sounded like a cat. Scratch, scratch, scratch. "Who's that?" the old man asked. He lay still and listened, and after a while he heard a voice. "Tailypo, Tailypo, all I want is my Tailypo." The scratching went on, and the old man began to shiver. Then he remembered his dogs. He went to the door and called, "Here, here, here." The dogs came piling out from under the porch and chased the thing deep into the woods. The old man pulled his covers tightly around him and went back to sleep. In the middle of the night, he woke up again. Now, he heard something trying to get in right above his window. "Who's that?" he called. "And what do you want at this time of night, when all good folks should be in bed?" He listened, and he could hear it going scratch, scratch, scratch. Then he heard the voice. "Tailypo, Tailypo, I'm coming to get my Tailypo." The old man was so scared he couldn't stand up, so he called his dogs from his bed. "Here, here, here." And the dogs came bursting around the corner of the cabin. They caught up with the thing at the gate and chased it into the swamp. At last, all was quiet again. With a weary sigh, the man went back to sleep. Toward morning, something down in the swamp woke up the old man. First, he thought it was the wind blowing louder than usual, but when he listened again, he heard the voice. "You know, and I know, all I want is my Tailypo." The old man called his dogs, but this time they didn't come. There was just the sound of the wind blowing. The man went back to sleep. Just before daylight, The old man opened his eyes, the way people do when they feel there's someone else in the room. Something was stirring among the pots and pans. Then, something began climbing up the covers at the foot of the bed. The man listened and heard it. Scratch, scratch, scratch. He looked over at the foot of his bed and saw two big, round eyes staring at him. The man wanted to call for help, but he couldn't open his mouth. The thing kept creeping up until it was right next to the old man. Then it said, "You know, and I know, that I'm here to get my Tailypo." All at once, the man got his voice and said, "I haven't got your Tailypo." "Yes, you have," said the thing. "Yes, you have." And it jumped on top of the man and scratched everything to pieces. Now, there's nothing left of the old man's cabin in the deep woods except the chimney. But folks who live in the valleys say that when the moon shines and the wind blows, you can hear a voice say, "Tailypo, Tailypo, now I've got my Tailypo."
Cricket Girls